Good evening. It's Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. I'm RisenLadyHeathen. Hey, asshole. What's ever? It's our show from other millennial news podcasts.
And then I currently have a tiny little horrible cat trying to steal a drag off my cigarette. Actually, that probably doesn't separate us all that much from most millennial
No,
podcasts.
probably not, no. We have a boomer, and not just any boomer. We have Mr. BoomerRex himself.
Good evening.
You two eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and I'm still learning. That's three unique perspectives we share along with the facts from our literal round table. It's Burn It Down Wednesday, and we're gonna actually get to that real quick, like right.
I
right
think
off
I
the
saw
bat.
somebody trying to make the Gen Zers look dumber than accurately reporting on them would. They apparently may not like the thumbs up emoji.
What?
Yeah, apparently that might be passive aggressive.
How was he passing?
I have no fucking idea. This is like a whole generation with fucking mommy or daddy issues. I don't know what the fuck the thing is, but they don't like. It's not enough interaction. I don't know.
Mm.
It feels dismissive, or at least that's what the article I read. Like I said, I think this is one of those they're trying to sort out some new attack lines on a new generation. Because
Well, kind of, sort of.
Oh, because the avocado toast and the Starbucks coffee.
I give things thumbs up to
Why not?
that I've read and
Yeah.
have decided
No, this
that I
is in the corporate
enjoy, but
environment.
not enough to heart, or it's a weird thing to heart. You know, some things you
Yeah.
don't want to heart.
I have no idea. I'm the wrong person to ask because I come from the kind of leadership thing where if you ever responded with a fucking emoji in a goddamn work thing, I would walk through the office and fire every other person I saw on my way to find you. Like, you'd be like, if you fucking text speak at me. No,
Lead speak.
they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, it was one thing back in the day when you literally, had to press numbers to get letters
And paid by the text message. Yeah.
But like nowadays, like, no, that's not a thing, and you can type it out like a
Fucking
grown-ass
adult.
fucking adult. Yeah.
Like, this is professional work that someone's paying us for, and someone important might see this shit someday. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to be sitting there reading a work email.
I am
being
not
like,
going to
what does
pay-
GTFO mean in this context? I have no clue, Jane. Jane, what does this fucking mean, Jane? Can you put in parentheses next to
Explain
it what
the
you
line.
mean? And in that case, instead of using the whatever, just fucking put in the words.
No, because we're gonna lose the Barnabas account because somebody responds LOL to their tragic tale of like death in the family and like, oh, I thought I made lots of love.
So I
Now I'm gonna have to
plead,
find a replacement and I'm slamming the other one's head in a drawer. And then you're like,
put-
I'm telling HR, I'm like, you have to get in the elevator first.
I plead guilty to one count.
You know who owns HR? Me.
In extended text messages, when somebody thanks me for something I did, I'll send them back a smiley face.
Yeah, no, and that's
Okay.
This is part of where I don't understand because none of the jobs I've had would ever have had a goddamn fucking chat room for the people. Because no, it will devolve into dick pictures and then we will have a problem. Because what am I going to do? Tell you to delete it? That's cool. Except now, if anyone has a problem with what happened. So now I have this thing I have to carry around where I can always be like, yeah, no, that's Dave's dick right there. Thanks, Dave.
So,
Oh my god, that's how I'd handle it.
Yeah.
Just post him on the like right at the entryway, right? So everyone who walks in says, "This is Dave's dick," right there on the wall. Even if it's not, he just shared the picture, so like it's probably not even his, but like
It's
we're
his
gonna
now.
call it his now. Like,
so I've been at my current job for 22 years.
Fuck, you're old.
Yeah, no,
No,
I'd
when people
appreciate
had
it if you-
careers.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't remind me quite so often. But anyway, so I'd been there about 2 years. I was working on a proposal. I was doing a background section on a mechanical thing that we do and do well and are known for. And so I turned to one of the people who is, a mover and shaker in that group and so forth. And I said, look, I need some really sexy pictures of so-and-so. And he says, oh yeah, no problem. He says, God, I've got some great ones. So I get back to my desk and I have an email sitting on my corporate server whose title is XXX photos. And I go, oh, fuck. And I open it, and it's exactly the photographs I asked for of a mechanical device that we make. I still have a copy of that email. Because at some point I know somebody's going to say, what the hell is this about XXX pigs? And I'm going to say, this is what was in the... And I'll tell them the story. And if they don't like that, they fuck themselves. But still, I said, Jesus Christ, guys.
All right, so let's get into this. I'm going to let you start us off with Alex Jones hit with a ridiculously large sum in compensatory damages.
Yeah, nearly $1 billion. And Connecticut doesn't have any provisions for reducing that number.
That's insane since all of the rich scumbags live there.
Yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, so he was actually in his show when it was happening, and it was being, live cast.
Oh, yeah.
I
We were
watched
watching.
it. It
Yeah.
was stupid.
So he's going, yeah, drive it up. At one point he said, I'm $1 billion man.
That's all there is to do.
He's a 10-cent asshole.
For sure.
But anyway,
No, and he was going on and on while he's, cheering the thing, and then he'd be like, yeah, I don't have any of this money. They're not going to get any of this.
It's somewhere between a brilliant move and the only move he had, right?
yeah.
Because at some level, it's like
It's
that kid that
notoriety.
woke up and killed himself because, like, his bullshit gambling addiction, stock trading, said that he owed them $23 million because of how it appeared on the thing because his others hadn't cleared yet.
Yeah.
And first off, like, if you tell me I owe someone $23 million, that's fucking adorable. Will you take a check? Fuck. That's an irrational amount of money. And I think that's sort of what he's trying to play to.
Yeah.
Is this feat, right? Again, it's like the kids who are really fucked by their, like, college debt.
So
That's an amount of money that I'm never going to have.
So my favorite part about him doing his whole little song and dance while this is
Yeah.
going on is he also obviously does classic Alex Jones and sells shit.
Oh, yeah.
While this is happening, he's like, don't forget to support us and go InfoWarsSupport.com or whatever it is and give us money and blah, blah, blah. And fuck you. Fuck you, buddy. So this had me watching, obviously, Alex Jones on and off InfoWars for the rest of the fucking day because I gotta see where they're going with this, right? So we had this emergency thing tonight, and sadly I missed it, but
no.
I did get to see Owen Schroyer on and off for the rest of the afternoon after they pulled Alex Jones off the air when he was so pissed as soon as they were done reading everything with the... It was ridiculous. But anyway, the Alex Jones show, so at InfoWars, it's all shouting about the end of the world all day. Nuclear Armageddon is coming because that's what the libs want. We want nuclear Armageddon and pushing sales and donations.
I'm certainly down.
Yeah.
He's saying he's innocent, and it's just free speech, and he needs $1 billion, and you need to help, keep him from going under because of damn liberals, the damn Democrats. How dare they?
Hey.
Brr, fuck you, Alex Jones. I hope they drag every penny out of your sorry hide. Every last penny. And then I hope they take money out of every paycheck you get from here until the day you die. And maybe your kids too, just because fuck them too. This is insane.
I don't know. What's in the Bible about that? So we could sell his kids into slavery?
And no,
Christian
there's nothing
nationalist.
wrong.
Well, but they're crisis actors, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, Alex Jones' kids are all it's fine. They don't exist. But my point is that don't pick on Alex Jones' kid because their dad's fucking jackass.
Alex Jones has no kids.
Nope.
He's got
They're robots.
2.
I was going to say, perfectly easy.
Two or
birds.
3?
They're birds.
I know he's got a young teenage boy.
No,
I don't know.
idea.
I don't know the other kids, but
I couldn't guess, and I wouldn't help if I knew. No, this is what happens, and it's the only fucking play he's got.
Yeah.
On the other hand, hooking your star to, if you're upset with how your experience in the America ride has gone, give me $1. is a pretty good hook. So, by the way, if you're unhappy with how your experience in the America ride has gone, give us $1.
Yeah, we'll buy an airship.
Like, comments. Oh, yeah, no, we will punish your fucking enemies with an airship. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Because we're
If nothing else, we'll dump loads of horse manure in their pool.
Yeah. And then chase them around with a sonic weapon on Twitch. Give us an airship. I'll be a supervillain. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, but we need to stop telling them like things we're gonna do, because then we're gonna have to go through and listen to every episode and find all the things that we said we were gonna do
And not do
any of them. So we need to stop talking about what we're gonna do and just say we will do bad things to bad people.
If you give me an airship when they're asleep, I'm going to play our old episodes out of the sonic weapons.
Could you imagine making somebody shit from listening to our show?
I just assume that's what happens when they do.
Fucking add the brown note in the background.
Background, foreground, midground. Spotlight on a strobe light.
And for those of you who question whether sonic weapons might work or not, I had
Your name and address.
I had an office once.
This one's for you.
I had an office once that faced a railroad track that was maybe 100 yards away. But the office was exactly the right dimensions to resonate to the train noises.
I wonder
And
if anyone's checked that for Havana syndrome.
you'd have noticed the noise.
That's fair.
But anyway, at times it was bad enough that people I knew got up and ran out of the room so they wouldn't vomit. And I understood exactly why they were leaving.
Yeah.
That exactly the right sound makes your stomach say, I got to get rid of whatever's in here. And my belly was a pretty big resonant cavity at that point. Less so now.
Sonic weapons and hot directed energy weapons, and we can just have a rave of pain.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god, I love it. We just have, just pay somebody to remix, our, better phrases into songs and stuff, and just blast them at people.
Well, and with
Wow, smash, that, like, button. Wow.
well, and with the right,
Oh, this is my favorite.
and with the right microwave weapon, right? It'd be like chasing ants with a blowtorch.
You could fly over cornfields and make popcorn like no one's ever seen. Wow.
All right, so yeah, we did Burn It Down Wednesday earlier, but this is just insanity. This is Alex Jones now talking that the world is coming to an end because he lost a court case. That's his reason for the world coming to an end, and absolutely nothing else.
Like all cult leaders, he felt the walls can't come in a little bit, and now that motherfucker wants everyone to get on the fucking asteroid.
And then I got the joy of listening to Owen Schroyer outright lie, saying Biden said there's going to be a recession. I looked it up. You know what Biden said? That there's probably not going to be a recession. So he said the exact opposite of what Owen Schroyer claims. So again, like, these people don't know how to not lie. It's just not in their nature.
No. You misinterpret. They don't care if they lie.
Yeah.
They tell the story they want to tell, whether it's true or not.
Yep.
And it has no reference whatsoever to reality.
Well, under that has
They're completely
grown,
unmoored from reality.
Oh, yeah.
worse than that, under that has grown an entire ecosystem of news networks designed to generate bullshit in support of what has been said.
Good evening and welcome to the Dunning-Kruger News Network.
I was thinking the Epoch Times, what's the one Kushner bought? Yeah, there's a laundry list of these things where, right, the people who always cover the shit from 4chan or Twitter or, right, pick your blogosphere garbage center.
No, I somehow managed to sign myself up for the Epic Times. Oh my God.
Yeah, no.
Well,
again, that's where the bullshit on that Chinese coup came from.
Yeah.
There is an incredible market for anti-communist garbage.
Yeah.
Like, we are going to die.
unless it's Putin.
This is what happened. America is dying to the fucking death rattle of the John Birch Society.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because...
Well, and completely failing to recognize that Putin is nothing on earth but an old communist apparatchik.
Speaking of Putin, Putin is as Putin does, is our next headline here.
Well,
Go ahead.
Yeah, God, I just love it. You remember they were obviously looking to steal some people to help Russify the nuclear plant. That continues. But the good news is the plant has been reconnected to electricity. So they now have two, fail-safes.
Yeah.
Their generators and the electricity to continue their cold shutdown.
Yeah, didn't they outright like kidnap like the main dude running the place?
They did and turned him loose. Then they kidnapped the deputy head of HR because he would have all the records on who the workers were so they could take them to Russia.
Yeah. Russia has a history of this. Russia took whole factories and workforce
out of Germany.
Yeah.
Well, and they took whole towns from the Ukrainian border into Russia and said, "Fuck you! You're all working at this rock quarry or whatever now. Good luck."
If I were them, I would dust off some of those old Soviet weapons cities and manufacture AK-47s, because the fact that they are issuing bolt-action weapons to kids going to the front, and don't get me wrong, I could assault a guard shack with a bolt-action weapon and a pistol.
Yeah, but like you ain't getting very far. Like if
No,
you miss
it's way
one
bad.
shot,
Yeah,
you are
no.
fucked.
You aren't providing any of your own cover fire. You're not a lot of stuff. You were not doing any of the fire maneuver shit that we've discovered is how it works.
Yeah.
You're now afraid of wave warfare. Like,
That's like one step better than literally running through a battle zone, like a today battle zone with a fucking musket.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we used to say the Russians had saved everything starting in World War I, and
Fucking
turns out it was true. But apparently at some point they sold off their AKs. I would guess those kind of wandered out the back door and wandered off to various places in Africa and South America.
Oh, and here, right? I'm willing to bet that a shit ton of what people bought and thought were whatever the high end is. Let's say that's Czech Republic, right? Yeah, sure. Except they ran out of those at some point, except never seemed to run low.
Yeah.
Like the Saudi oil fields that we've been running for 70 years and still haven't used any oil out of. So,
Well, that's like I'm sending T-62s into the Ukraine. And go, wait a minute. I knew how to deal with T-62s in 1973. So,
Whatever.
not too nervous about them.
yeah.
All right, we got more in there.
Well, it keeps going. So anyway, the Western Allies reiterated their support for Ukraine in the General Assembly's condemnation. 143 countries supported the notion. 5 countries voted in opposition, and 35 member states abstained, including India.
No, of course they did.
India needs to hear the fucking branch snap, not creak.
Yep.
Snap. We need to hurt India. So
Yep.
they're not a big trading partner for us, but we're a big trading partner for them, and we should hurt them.
Stop sending them shit.
We should stop doing any business with them. We should stop doing business with any company that does any business in India for any reason.
Like we did with
We
Russia.
can turn off their economy like a fucking switch,
Sounds good.
and we should do it.
I'm all about it.
And then they can prance around and wail. So
No,
they're
I'll
good.
offer to be second biggest goon in the new Warsaw Pact.
That's what they're auditioning for.
Yeah. Well, we can lock them into that position. That's fine. My big problem right now is we need to duct tape China to the other side of that table. If anyone wants to sell the idea that China is our big geopolitical threat, now is a really good time to paint them as such. Don't try the Chi-Com thing. That ship has fucking sailed.
No, they just want more kleptocracy.
Yeah. Well, that's the so dumb thing about what makes me crazy about all the boomers who are, rabidly anti-socialist or anything left of fucking Christian nationalist. You do know there's no communists anywhere on Earth, right?
Yeah.
We all found out money's a fucking amazing drug.
Yep.
Literally indistinguishable from cocaine as far as your
Yeah, and we
brain's
bear some
concerned.
responsibility for that.
Yeah, no, turns out the blue genes wasn't the only thing we exported.
So, as you may have recalled, that out of the EU countries, France's contributions to Ukraine's welfare had been pretty modest up till now. France will send air defense systems, radars, missiles, and weapons to Ukraine in the upcoming weeks.
Hell yeah.
So we seem to maybe have pushed France off the button. So,
Fuck yeah.
yeah. France will deliver hardware and the necessary training to Ukraine. They've specifically requested anti-air weapons as the priority.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, I still think we should I think someone should have a unbelievable shit pot full of drones with no markings.
Well, and if those Iranian drones continue to be a problem, we can fix that. They have a factory.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be there. Shit, we might even be able to pay the Israelis to do away with it.
Fair.
They did the reactor.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
All right.
So, anyway, the chief of the Russian energy giant, Gazprom, says there's no guarantee Europe will survive this winter. I love that line. And I think our goal should be to say, Russia will not survive this winter.
Promise you, the lights go out in Moscow and St. Petersburg long before they go out in Paris, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the ability to turn them
will
out.
heat Europe
forever.
with dead motherfucking Russians, if it comes to that.
Yeah, they're pretty skinny. I'm not sure they're going to burn all that good.
Everything gasifies.
Shit, though. We could get the Germans to make the ovens.
We got kids.
He didn't mean that,
That was my
folks.
first fucking
We
thought.
take it back. Jesus fuck. Don't at me, okay? At RisenLadyHeathen. How do you let these assholes say these things? Well, he's an asshole. That's what he is.
No, wait, what?
You'd be surprised how many Germans would have said,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we do have a history.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to explain to a German friend once, I've forgotten which, it was Yugoslavia that fell apart into 3 warring nations and so forth. And Germany was very quiet and sat on the sidelines. And that was the time I told him that the Reichstag should do something about this, that Germany was a military leader in Europe and they needed to fucking act. And so 2 things happened. First of all, the restaurant got very quiet and he leaned forward and he said, we call that the Bundestag these days. Oh yeah,
Probably.
shit, sorry. And then he said, and we can't. He said, we have a history there.
Yeah.
To which my response was, fuck your history. Go act like
you
you're...
make a new one.
Yeah, just go act like you are part of Europe and an
Give a shit about the
important part.
future.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Yeah, no, like the only way you
Which was
can-
better received in the restaurant than I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean the only way you can really move forward from those sorts of atrocities is to show that
Write
you
some new
left
history.
that in your past,
Yes.
like that is your past, and you know it better than anybody.
Yep.
Which is why you know that you're not going to allow that to happen to anybody fucking else.
That what I want to hear is about what was going to be the next war crime in fucking Ukraine, and all we found was a shit ton of dead Russians and 1 German special operations unit patch.
Cool.
But until I hear that, fuck off, Germans.
Yeah.
Your history is apparently doing what you're told. So do what you're told. Same with the French, same with everyone else.
And
Like,
ship some fucking weapons.
ship some of our fucking weapons that we sold you for the cheap to the people who are going to use them so you don't have to use them, you idiots.
And then you can say, you don't have to say, we have history. You can say, we don't have any weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way
And
back.
don't worry, we'll restock your ass.
Yeah.
For a price.
If they need it, we've already shown we've done. We'll run the factories 24/7 again and reindustrialize America, which would be, fucking dope.
Yep.
But no, that's part of what makes me so crazy about all these articles that are like all of a sudden terrified because
Well, at this point, I think you could fly B-24s against Russia, and they wouldn't be able to stop you.
you could drone them up for sure.
But I know I can build them.
Yeah. Well, my point is you can drone them up, and now you don't have to seal them or do any of this stuff. Like we can make a lot of shit a lot cheaper.
Well, again, I've seen the aircraft storage yards.
Mm-hmm.
We could darken the sky with A-10s.
Yeah, and should. Why they'll be Ukrainians. Again, I think we should be busing young Ukrainians to Nevada, and they can fly all the drone missions they want. These kids have played Call of
They
Duty.
can learn to fly A-10s, and
Yeah.
if something goes wrong, I guarantee you that when you hit a Russian tank with an A-10 at 350 knots, that pilot's titanium bathtub is going to fuck up the tank.
Yep.
So,
All right. Are we done with
Yeah, probably.
Russia? Okay.
yeah.
Let's move on to just fuck 'em.
Yeah, Iran continues to murder its women.
Yeah, I saw that.
108 of them have been killed in the crackdown in 3 weeks of nationwide protests. So, I'm
don't
all
stop
about.
women. Let them kill you all, because it's kind of hard for them to reproduce if y'all dead. So
I was
hate
wondering
to
if we
say
could
it, but-
arrange to flood Iran with pistols, and the women can put them under their gowns, and when it looks
They
like
need to
they're in
come
real
out, they
trouble,
can.
they pull them out and take a few of those security dickwads with them.
Hell, you could fucking hide some pretty serious shit underneath
I know.
those big burqa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I could fit probably a couple AKs, maybe a launcher, some
How about 410 bang
bombs.
sticks?
What?
How about 410 bang sticks?
True.
I'm just trying to think of stuff that's really easy to manufacture.
Yeah, and you
All
can
I'm
use right
saying
up close.
is women.
How about a 12-gauge bang stick?
Uh,
You're only going to get one shot. If it breaks your wrist, it breaks your wrist. It's going to rip his guts out.
What I'm saying, women, is make it, they like wearing those big cover-up burqas. Make it a surprise every day, something different under there. Scare these motherfuckers. Fucking
Yeah.
do it. They like terror. They want to be. They want to push terror. Women, you can fucking win this game easy, hands
And there are a
down.
lot more of you than there are of them.
They're killing your daughters.
And
just
you
close in
women
around
can
the dead
talk a
ones.
dude into going into that alley over there.
Yep.
Right.
And if you hit him in the chest with the 12-gauge bump stick, the smoke will come out his mouth and there won't be much sound at all. So,
Yeah, murder these fools. All right. Don't kill anybody, people, unless you live in Iran.
no, if Iranians want to kill
Yeah.
Iranians, I'm all in. How do we arm them? If Iranian women want to
Yes.
kill
Specifically Iranian
Iranian
women. As
fucktards.
far as I'm concerned, you can kill whoever you want. Here in America, don't fucking kill them.
We should also look and see if there's anything else we could do to Iran.
All right. Conway, Arkansas, another shithole backwater. What's going on here?
So, here's this
Arkansas.
little nothing town in Arkansas where a speaker declared that LGBTQ students deserve death. God gave them over to a depraved mind so that they would do what they should not be doing. And they invent ways of doing evil. Let me remind you that those who do such things deserve death.
So he deserves to die because he's obviously
The school
gay.
board sat there in silence. Again, so shitholistan, Conway, Arkansas.
Fuck 'em.
I-
A good place to
Admitting
stay
it.
out of.
And he admits that it's like God's plan. God did this thing. Yeah, God's got this. Don't worry. That's the part I never got. These people who want to trust in the infallibility of God's plan, but they've got to tighten up these spots.
Yeah. So in the meantime, the board voted to force trans students to use the bathrooms based on their sex assigned at birth, and room assignments for trips away from the school had to be based on sex assigned at birth,
Man, they're gonna
which
fuck
might
around.
be a big mistake.
Gonna fuck around, and somebody's gonna do the work and just start declaring whole graduating classes dead, since there's no good way for the system to bring them back to life.
So anyway, Deborah
Just
Hale
okay.
Shelton, who writes for the Arkansas Times, said the meeting felt like a Trump rally or a 1950s Pentecostal sermon on hellfire and damnation.
Yeah.
No, what it sounds like is shitholistan.
It sounds like every
So-
other fucking Republican you've heard walk up to a microphone recently. This is
Yep.
not new.
It sounds like the places where their PACs are working heavily in Africa to outlaw being gay and have succeeded. No, this is the face of modern Christianity. It's part of why when the Pope does something cool, I always
No,
have
it's
to
time to
temper it
stop
with,
calling. It's time to stop calling them Christians.
No,
Right? This is religo-fascists.
that would be Christians. That would be every faith, everywhere. They are no different. Their entire purpose is to take land and molest children. There are some people who don't, but that's religion.
So anyway,
Yeah, no. In this instance, I'm with him. These people are Christians, and they call themselves Christians. And
My problem is we spent the
They
'90s
follow
making
the
carve outs
Bible.
for no, those are the born agains, and that's the evangelicals, and they're not really in charge of it. They're driving the bus now.
Yeah, they're driving the Republican
They say
Party
they're
bus.
Christians. I'm gonna take them at their word. And if the other Christians want to have a fight about that when the sun goes down, that sounds like some sectarian violence that's between them.
if you
But I think we should recognize that what they are spouting has nothing to do with the Bible or Christianity or the
how the
teachings
Bible
of
no,
been
Jesus.
interpreted
it's
since
how
the dawn of
they've been
time.
interpreting it for generations.
For 1,000 years. This is the same nonsense that launched the Crusades and everything else. So,
The witch burnings, which we
I'm
all
not
know
gonna
were
bring-
actually
what is
land
the-
grabs.
yeah. Because my problem is eventually I have to come down to what is the positive impact of religion? And some handful of individual things, cool.
And damn little else.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so if religion wants to like hide amongst the other things, religion needs to spend its time doing that and being inoffensive and out of the way. But it's kept us from doing stem cell research at a federal level. It's just gotten in the way too goddamn much for me to have any more give in me when it comes to, but these aren't the real Christians. Where the fuck are the real Christians then?
And why aren't they pushing back on this? If they want their religion
Right?
to mean something
How many times
different,
did I
then
hear-
they need to stand up and say that's not right.
How many times did I hear these motherfuckers say that Muslims needed to stand up and denounce terrorism?
I have never seen one of these preachers preaching to his whatever and watched somebody who belonged to that congregation stand up and say, that's not true. The Bible actually says shunk, 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 blah, 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 blah,
about
which
there-
means something different than what you're trying to say it means. Until I see that, I'm sorry, it's all fucking Christians until you all start standing up for yourselves.
I'll bet you there are people who identify as Christian in the room when that dude was speaking who didn't stand up and denounce that motherfucker right
Yeah.
there.
Huh?
As another one before God or whatever they use to make it magical.
Yep.
And the other thing of that's pretty much it.
Just, yeah, anyway, let's just move on. This is just stupid. All right, Florida scum. What is Florida doing?
So the Miami Herald reported on the story of Craig Ridley, 62-year-old prisoner in Florida, who, after having his neck broken by guards, was left to die in his cell. They left him lying on his bunk, paralyzed, with his neck dislocated. That's a catastrophic injury suffered after corrections officers tackled him to the ground face first on September the 8th, 2017. They kept it secret for 5 years. He kept telling him his neck was broken and that he was paralyzed. So instead of calling for a backboard, they put him in a wheelchair.
Yep, that helps. Putting people with broken necks in wheelchairs is universally how you handle that situation.
His head drooped forward. He screamed in pain.
And then promptly died.
And there's a video of that one. No. The prison nurse disregarded his complaints. You ain't paralyzed, one officer told him. Officers then put him in a confinement cell, positioning him on a toilet where, unable to balance, he fell onto the floor, leaving a pool of blood that horrified other inmates. His blockmates begged guards to get him medical attention as he lay in his cell, unable to walk, and starving because he couldn't reach the food that he was being given. After 5 days of this paralysis, guards finally took him to a hospital where he died on October the 12th. So
how many days was he in the
A
hospital
month.
before he died?
looks like 5 days.
Yeah.
So
For a
anyway,
month. More than a month of.
Just
so I'm sorry. I look at this and I say, this is murder one with special circumstances.
Yeah.
There should be a whole bunch of people
That's
on
the
trial for their
Yeah.
fucking
they should all be
lives.
charged.
Yeah.
No, everyone involved
Everyone
in
who
this
worked
should
a
be
shift in that
fired
pod
and
should be
charged.
done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have a
Everyone,
lifetime ban to, I don't know.
everyone who so much as heard it, even if they didn't work in that unit, but they heard the story and laughed
Yeah,
about, you know what I mean? Everybody in that prison should be subject to
Yeah.
fucking issues.
We'll be lucky if we get the logbooks of who was there. So, right, I doubt we'll get any security camera footage, right? I think.
They've got video.
Okay. I'm amazed.
I am too. And we'll go back and get other video if we can.
Yeah.
And then we'll get one of the ones that's on the video up on charges For, again, murder one, special circumstances.
Right, find the one with the least culpability, flip them first.
Whoever I can get my hands on.
Yeah, but
So,
I don't want us to make another deal with a big fish and then find out, oh no, we can't do the other things because he's a senator.
You know, this is. Dude, I can't even
Nope.
touch this.
All of my answers would have to be edited out.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's say that this is disgusting, horrific, and is
Related
makes
to
me
a laundry list of crimes committed by the American legal system that other disregard.
disappointed in Americans as a whole. Okay,
Yeah.
fuck y'all. All right, Boomer Rex is about damn time. I desperately need good news. Tell me something good.
so after 18 months of negotiation between the Justice Department, National Archives, etc., the FBI moved in on Mar-a-Lago to seize documents that Donald Trump had taken from the White House. The reason that negotiations were stopped was that a worker of Trump's told the FBI the boxes were about to be moved. So anyway, witnesses told law enforcement, and it was corroborated by security camera footage. The footage also shows Trump's actions after he was given a government subpoena and told to hand over the documents. At that time, he gave the FBI nothing more than an envelope with a few things included. People familiar with the investigation say agents have gathered witness accounts indicating that after Trump advisors received a subpoena for any classified documentation that remained at Mar-a-Lago, Trump told people to move boxes to his residence at the property, which explains why they searched his residence.
Yep.
That description of events, again, was corroborated by security camera footage, which showed people moving the boxes. So, anyway.
There's
Yeah.
a million more people whose lives you need to turn the fuck upside down
Yep.
and go through. Like, the U.S. government's about to find all the foreign nationals these people know.
Yep. So, I love it.
But
All right, dumbass of the day, who gets the crown?
Well, I mean, there's nothing special about it. Herschel Walker gets it today. He's continuing to deny he paid for his girlfriend's abortion, despite the fact she has the receipt and a copy of his check paying for it, and that he urged her to have a second. He says Democrats have woken a grizzly bear. No, I'll tell you what they've awakened. They've awakened a, well, never mind.
and this happened
Anyway.
after all of his weird.
He said, I was only going to beat him by a little bit, but now I'm going to beat him by a lot. The polls say you're going to get your ass stomped, boy.
I know. How about you hold your gun up against their head?
Yeah.
But no, and that whole bit with the grizzly bear came after a long explanation about a bull and some cows and getting his tummy scratched, climbing over the wire to go fuck some other cows, maybe.
What?
And then something about a dog, and then a goat. There was a goat involved in this story.
Was he like fantasizing
You gotta
about all the
find this.
farm animals
I
that he
didn't-
wants
That's
to
what- he's just-
bestiality
broke it.
type
Look, he's
fuck with?
What other farm animals?
That's what I said. Because he himself is obviously a farm animal, which is why he's attracted to other farm animals.
And why the Republicans are on their knees to him. So,
Oh, they're all about that
Yeah.
bestiality shit. Didn't you hear? That's the new thing. It's all the rage in Republicans.
all right. So, assholes looking up, see if we can get more of the.
Rant.
Yeah.
All right. So do we want to move on?
Yeah.
All right. GM steps up. What's going on here?
So, I put this under branches creaking, but it's an interesting idea. General Motors said it is forming a new business unit to offer stationary battery packs, solar panels, electric vehicle chargers, and other energy management products for homes and businesses. They aim to build the expertise on battery and software that has amassed over recent years in a new line of electric vehicles. The idea is they're looking at energy management and actually is making the car part of the energy management system.
Right.
So if something goes weird, you can run down the battery in your car to run critical stuff in your house, at least for a while, right? But the idea of doing this with solar, right, and other storage begins to say this could be an interesting business opportunity. GM is big enough and has the resources. If they decided to do this seriously,
Yep.
right, they could be movers and shakers in this.
Yep.
Good job, GM.
Well, and even if they only take up, right, the same size as whatever the largest current provider is, they've,
Yep.
right, you're beginning to talk about the kind of shit that gets you economy of scale and all the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They say the commercial operations are already underway, and home energy systems will be available starting in 2024. And part of the reason for this is that when you look at the charging requirements for many electric vehicles, they're pretty steep, right? It's not a very expensive amount of energy, but it comes at voltages and amperages that many homes can't, you certainly can't support from a wall plug, right? To take the Bolt EV as an example, from 120 volt outlet, you can add 4 miles per hour by charging, which is, given that these are, not driven very far, average drive per day is 19 or 20 miles. You could put it back every day, right? So that your car is essentially fully charged all the time.
Yeah.
Right. But you're not going to do it quick. So anyway, that's an interesting fucking idea.
Yeah.
So we'll see if GM does anything with it. But they certainly have the commercial clout to do so. And the reason, again, part of the reason they're doing it is because they want to be sure that people who buy their EVs have a satisfactory experience with them.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to the Herschel Walker thing real quick. So, Matt Fuller tweeted the short version of what happened and says, Herschel Walker just told a weird parable about a bull who was with 6 cows and 3 of them were pregnant. And he saw some more cows on the other side of the fence, so he hopped the fence and cut up his belly. I don't know either, man.
Somebody go check Herschel Walker's tummy.
Yeah.
I think he's saying he needs a Band-Aid.
I think the idea of dragging him over a barbed wire fence is amusing.
And then Aaron Schner, whoever that is on Twitter, said, Herschel Walker just now, quote, I've been telling this little story about this bull out in the field with 6 cows, and 3 of them are pregnant, so, he's got something going on. And then it links to the whole thing, but...
I think Herschel Walker's comparison of himself to a bull is fairly appropriate. I think that's basically what he is.
I think that's what his life has pretty much rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The downside of the way we make fucking children.
Certainly it's a good intellectual match.
Players of
But
children's
bear?
ballgames.
No. Herschel Walker, you ain't no bear. I know bears, and you ain't no bear.
So the bear thing, somebody named ACYN tweeted, Walker, I don't think they know they woke up a bear. I'm not just a dog now, I'm a bear. That's one of the lines he said. This sounds like an unhinged
Football's a hell of a
rant.
drug.
Like,
It will damage your brain, kids. Don't play football.
I got nothing. It's just
Better to fucking huff paint. Don't huff paint, kids.
Yeah, don't fucking, Jesus, don't do whippets, don't huff paint, wait till you're 25 to
Don't
smoke
play
weed. Fucking
Yeah, huffing
Christ.
paint will stone fuck you up.
So we're playing football.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's move on to updates with BoomerRex health threats.
So the World Health Organization issued a global alert over 4 brands of cough syrups, saying they were linked to acute kidney damage following reports from Gambia of children diagnosed with serious kidney problems. Laboratory analysis of the cough syrups confirms they contained unacceptable amounts of diethylene glycol and ethylene glycol as contaminants, both of which are hell on kidneys. So the cough syrup manufacturer, Maiden Pharmaceutical, says those syrups were only exported to Gambia. So if you look at the history of punishment for bad drug quality in India, It's a litany of $200 fines.
Yeah.
Again, this is, don't buy any medical product from India for any reason. This is dumb. So,
Whatever. Fucking idiots. You do you.
well, again, you're buying things from Shitholistan. Why the fuck would you do this?
Cheap. No, I.
Just fucking go to Canada.
But if all of your experience comes from the 80s, globally, we got pretty good at a lot of that stuff because it was right around the time when all of consumer protection kicked in and we started cutting that shit back. And we have now reached the trough of that fucking wave.
Yep.
Right.
Well, I don't think we've reached the trough, but we have definitely reached the noticeable down from the last peak.
Well, and we can't be too smug about it because we had a compounding pharmacy killing people with the fungus they put in their drugs.
We have people firing where they work at food stuff, and the food thing's response to, hey, this machine is pissing metal shavings into the food, is pick out the ones you can see. We're only trying to get it food grade here.
Yeah, this is why the, DEA needs more, or the Drug and Food whatever, FDA. God damn, there are too many.
I know, the alphabet cousins will fuck you up.
Yep.
I hate them all. Anyway, the Food and Drug Administration, they need more power, folks. This is why they need more power.
Don't worry, President Rick Perry's going to get rid of 3 of them. Lord knows which 3.
Yeah.
You know what? If we keep on this path, folks, we are getting very close to heading back to maggoty fucking milk.
Oh, yeah.
We're headed back in that direction.
No, we're there.
And we're headed back.
No one's
to,
had any maggoty milk to get rid of recently.
and we're headed back to candy made out of plaster, icing made out of plaster, and that green stuff. What's the green stuff again? Arsenic, right? Because it's pretty colors for candy for the kiddos.
Hey, you know what's really pretty colors? Radio.
Yeah, and it glows in the dark.
Right? Yeah, it's amazing. All right, let's move on to climate weirding.
So, tree-dwelling species of monkeys and lemurs are spending increasing amounts of time on the forest floor as they seek refuge from rising temperatures in their arboreal homes.
Forced evolution.
Yeah. 150,000 hours of observations of 47 tree-dwelling primate species living across 70 sites in Madagascar and the Americas, including howler monkeys, bamboo lemurs, are spending more time on the ground in areas where their forest is degraded and fragmented.
Rise up against the humans.
They're being forced to the ground to seek shelter and shade and water.
Kill them all.
So,
Kill
you
all
think
the
it's
humans.
only going to happen to monkeys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go look in a mirror, tell yourself you're not a monkey.
Yep.
Yeah, this is going to happen to people.
Mhm.
So,
Cities are going to suck.
Oh, God, yeah.
well, especially after we begin to run short of electricity to run the air conditioners. We're going to have people dying of heat-related
More
injuries.
people dying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, heat-related injuries are a lot harder to prove than cold.
Yep.
So you can be absolutely confident that any reported numbers are low.
Significantly lower than the reality.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to say a heart attack was due to heat or a stroke or a, whatever.
Yep.
They'll just say that it was a heart attack or a stroke or a severe event of some kind, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, shit, this is part of the Republican plan. That'll help fix Social Security. Just got to have all the oldsters die of heat-related injuries.
Mm-hmm. All right, so, get those digging utensils ready because the only way you're going to stay cool in our future is by digging a hole in the ground and living there. We're going to become hobbitses, folks. Hobbitses. Only, like, the bad kind, not the good kind that live in the Shire. Anyway. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, heart, follow, review, smash that like button on YouTube, go to BoomerRexTonight, no spaces on Facebook for fun memes, and a link to our Patreon, give us $1. You can find us on YouTube as BoomerX, or check your favorite podcasting service for BoomerRexTonight. We can be found on over a dozen different platforms, including Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Samsung Podcasts. Hit us up on Twitter at BoomerRexTonight. If you Google BoomerRexTonight, no spaces, all links will lead you to us.
She can do it in 3 breaths.
We love y'all, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night for more BoomerRexTonight.
Good night, y'all.